guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I found this little scenic area because guess what? We have one heck of an SUV. This is a 2021 Toyota Sequoia. Not just any Sequoia, this is a TRD Pro in lunar rock color. But before we dive into this mean muscle off-road machine, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota, a brand that's really built a reputation for reliability. Sequoia has only been around since 2001. It feels like it's been around longer. I think the reason why is that there's only been 2 generations, and since 2008, this Sequoia really has not changed much from exterior finish to what's underneath the hood and also what's on the inside. Now, big news is coming from Toyota. Supposedly for 2022, there is a redesigned Sequoia. Still no word yet on if a TRD Pro is going to be available for that first 2022 model year. So what I want to find out is, we have this Lunar Rock Edition, TRD Pro. Is it worth the price? And is it worth getting this now, or do you wait for the redesign of this supersized Toyota SUV? So let's go ahead, let's find out with our TRD Pro Sequoia. Right off the bat, it is large and in charge. This is Toyota's largest SUV, bigger than the Land Cruiser, definitely bigger than a 4Runner. Starting at the front of the business, like I said, Generation 2, this is what you're getting headlight style. Now, for 2021, this color Lunar Rock is specific to the TRD Pro lineup of SUVs. And on our 2021, we got LED daytime running lamps. So these have been updated since 2008. LED headlights. Everything is blacked out on the interior. Very, very large headlight housing, but you know what? This vehicle's large overall, so it kind of blends in very nicely. Now, as we drop down, when you go TRD Pro, you're gonna get these Rigid Industries LED fog lamps. This shows the connection to what Toyota wants to bring with this vehicle. And the reason why I say that is because Rigid Industries is known within the off-road industry for producing the best when it comes to LED lighting. So you're gonna get those fog lamps. I like the way it's just all flat black, no fake vents. As we come across the center section, you got that massive grille, fully functional. When you go TRD Pro, you're gonna get that gunmetal gray Toyota name. I like the way it's sort of just like floating there. Everything else is flat black. You drop down, you have some horizontal slots, also functional, also flat black. And then if you're measuring from the ground to the underside of this Sequoia, you have 10 inches of ground clearance. And of course, because this is a TRD Pro, you get full metal skid plates front to rear on this beast of a vehicle. And you can just see the width. This is on that truck chassis, that Tundra chassis, and it clearly shows that with the size of the front end of this vehicle. Now, when we get up onto the hood, very, very simple, very clean. So you're just gonna have your flat portion in the center, kind of that step section on the sides going towards the A-pillars. As we come around the bend, if you're wondering, Joe, are there tow hooks? Yes, there's actually tow hooks mounted well up front to help pull those lesser trucks and SUVs out of the mud, out of the dirt, out of the sand, out of the quicksand and everything. So you have that. Now, as you come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? You're gonna get these 18-inch forged BBS wheels. So lighter than cast, stronger than cast aluminum, forged aluminum BBS wheels. I love the way it's got the Forge name in there, the BBS, such a iconic, just like Rigid Industries, BBS is known in the wheel industry for decades. You got your Pro built into the wheel, TRD, Toyota Racing Development. So that has been brought into this wheel setup. You can see the nice large calipers, fully ventilated rotors there. And then if you were able to take this wheel off right now, we'd be able to show you that this is sitting on TRD off-road springs, and it has full corner-to-corner Fox Racing suspension. You can see the massive control arm up top. Really, really shows the identity of this being a true off-road SUV. Coming down the side, you're gonna get these fixed TRD specific running boards. How do I know they're TRD specific? Because it actually has the name TRD stamped there. Remember, Toyota Racing Development, you're gonna get your blacked out TRD badge, the TRD Pro badge on the front doors. Color match on the tops of the mirror caps. And then this massive, absolutely massive cargo system up there with your raised rails. This comes from the factory just like this with your crossbars. Love the style. Like the way it's a nice powder coated finish to it. We work our way back. You got your Lunar Rock painted door handles. Just the little details that I really think stand out on the side of this vehicle. Coming towards the rear, nice large quarter glass. Remember, you got 3 rows of functionality, 3 rows of versatility. When we get to the back, you're gonna get a short, stubby, low roof spoiler. You got the TRD badge stamped into the back portion of that raised cargo holder, blacked out on the badges. So you got your blacked out Toyota badge, Sequoia. Remember, what makes this unique compared to a Tahoe, compared to Suburban, compared to a Yukon, compared to an Expedition, you could actually raise and lower the rear glass. Can't do that on those other SUVs. You do have the wiper. You know, normally I would zonk it, but it actually makes it look pretty rugged. That extra touch, especially with the support here for the wiper blade. Talk about being rugged. That looks like I could stand on this little support and it'll hold me up. Obviously, taillights are gonna be a major zonk. Very bland, very boring, very dated. So that's where you're seeing that clear, old school feeling to this massive SUV. You got your blacked out badges, just like on the doors, the TRD Pro. Drop it down, of course, you're gonna get full tow capability, and you got your spare underneath there. But why don't we go ahead, talking about the spare, talking about towing, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Sequoia TRD Pro. All right, guys, we got the hood popped, an old school feel, the grille attached to the hood. What's underneath that hood is what really makes this a standout. You do have hydraulic hood struts, and you have that tried and true, that 5.7 liter V8, naturally aspirated V8, 381 horsepower, 401 pound-feet of torque, same engine from the Toyota Tundra. These engines have been seen to go over 1 million miles of road duty and off-road duty. So made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds, quarter mile goes by at 15.2 seconds, top speed at 115 miles an hour. What about towing capability? 7,400 pounds worth of towing capability. The Sequoia TRD Pro weighs in at 6,100 pounds. MPGs, if you're really worried about that, you're looking at the wrong vehicle. 13 in the city, 17 on the highway. So yes, we could definitely zonk that this engine has not been majorly redesigned in a very, very long time, but definitely, like I said, reputation on reliability. You're getting reliability out of this, but why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what the V8 sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Lunar Rock 2021 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at Yukons, I've been looking at Tahoes, I've been looking at Expeditions, Explorers, and everything in between. How much is this one? Because I'm not so sure if I'm ready to pull the trigger now or if I should wait for the redesign. What's going on? Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you, to help you. And basically, MSRP for the way that you see this one is right at $65,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Now, if you're looking for glitz and glam, you're looking in the wrong area. You're getting all hard plastic from top to bottom. The good news is it's easy to keep clean. The bad news is it's hard plastic. They gave you a little bit of a metallic silver around the switchgear. There is the JBL sound system, premium sound system, which is a nice touch. And that door pocket down there has plenty of room for some hot pockets, and then a cold cut combo 6-inch from Subway and 2 bottles of Surge to wash it all down. Now, as you go from the door panel to the dash, guess what? Say it with me. Hard plastic. Hard as a rock, but the good news is it's going to be easy to keep clean because it's all dark material. You have these very dated AC vents. Some people like this. I'm going to zonk it. I wish that it had just a little bit more, maybe a TRD Pro badge in here. You got your oh crap handle, or also the handle to pull yourself in for the passengers and the drivers. You got 2 glove boxes. So you got the smaller one. This is going to be your Twinkie box. Every guy needs a Twinkie box. And then you have your larger glove box down below. So that's nice, the way there's lots of storage. You come to the center stack. There's been, believe it or not, some change since 2008, if you could believe that. You get a 7-inch infotainment system. I know, I'm shocked just like you that such a large SUV has such a small infotainment system, but the good news is it's integrated into the dash if you want that kind of style. You do have navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Is it a touchscreen? Of course. So you do have a touchscreen there. We could go to our menu. It's very easy to use because there's not much to it, but that's sometimes a good thing. That's what some people want. And guess what? Like I said, it's just a simple system. Now let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera, the good news is that it takes up all 7 inches. The bad news, that's all you get. And you do have your trajectory marks, but it does not move with the turning of the steering wheel. Now, as you drop down, you are getting dual climate control. These massive knobs, if you can't find these knobs in the dark, there's something really wrong with you. But you get these massive bright silver knobs. This is gonna allow you to go from 2-wheel drive to 4 high and 4 low. You got your start stop button. We got that switch like I showed you and told you about to raise and lower the rear glass. And then if you want to lock the center diff, you got that bad boy button right there. There is a dev button. I wonder what this is for. This has got to be for the ejection seat that is not available anymore. But as we continue to work our way down, you do have heated seats, but guess what? No ventilated seats. That's a zonk. I am going to zonk that, but you do get dual climate control. Keep working your way down. We do have connectivity. You're going to have a total of 3 USBs and a 12 volt. So that's a nice touch. And then check this out. You actually have a Tostino's pizza roll holder. And you're probably saying, well, Joe, where is it? Take this lid off. Put your pizza rolls in there, Tostino pizza rolls. Nice hot right out of the microwave. And then you could just hide it so that nobody knows except for you. 2 cup holders, and the great news is you could put massive bottles here or a Super Slurpee. For the smaller drinks, you got this smaller cup holder. So they definitely got you covered storage-wise. Here's your key fob. Just as old as the style of the Sequoia. Very light, which is good. It won't pull your pants down. The bad news is it just feels very, very cheap. I mean, what can you do about that? You have your Mentos holder over here. After eating all those pizza rolls, you're gonna have some stinky breath. That's gonna help you with that. This is gonna control that 6-speed automatic transmission, TRD shift lever there. That gated style design definitely looks dated, but you know what? It's like this is a new old vehicle. If you want an older style vehicle, but you want something brand new, this has got the touches, and hey, to each their own. Super size on the armrest. It is made out of this rubber, but it does have a soft touch to it. Pull this up, look at this. Whoa, almost came down and closed my hand and ripped my hand off. You do have this nice little sliding pistachio tray. Put that there. You could then put Snickers, paydays. You know what? If you got to give little incentive to your kids to shut up while you're driving, you could fill this up, and this could be like the incentive box. And then you could keep one area for you, maybe put, you know, some granola bars or some bananas because you're trying to, you know, slim up for the summertime. Seats, full leather, TRD Pro embroidery with the red stitching. I just wish they were ventilated, and I wish they had just a little bit more cushion. They look like they're soft, but after a long ride, they're really not the softest. You do have electric assist for the passenger and the driver, and a standard sunroof. Would be nice. What am I going to say? Yes, panoramic sunroof I think would be really nice in this SUV. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of the Sequoia TRD Pro. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this TRD Pro Sequoia. There's your massive seat control buttons for the electric assist, large as the Sequoia. Seats are, like I said, they're supportive. They're just not the comfiest, which I would think because they're so large, they would be comfy. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom, plenty of room just overall. Steering wheel, it's dated. I mean, leather is nice. The buttons are easy to figure out only because you've seen them on a Toyota steering wheel of a Tundra or Sequoia for years. You do have lane keep assist. You do have blind spot monitoring, which is nice. Steering wheel behind that is going to be tilting and telescoping. The gauges, I dig it because I'm an analog kind of guy. Analog tach, analog speedometer, then you have 4 analog gauges around that small digital display, which you could scroll through a whole bunch of information there. But it is not heavy on the tech side, but like I said, that might be right up your alley. But let's get to the mid-row and see if your passengers are gonna feel like a dinosaur in this Toyota Sequoia. All right, guys, backseat time. The good news is there's plenty of room back here for your passengers. They do get the same leather seating. Captain's chair armrest, that ratcheting kind that I can't stand. Plus, it could be just a little bit wider. So we are gonna zonk this, flip this right out of the way. Backs of the seats, leather all the way around. Nice massive pocket there. Easily put a personal pan pizza, maybe 2. Just don't get anchovies because it's gonna stink in here. back area of the center console, you do have a 12 volt. So that's as much tech as your passengers are gonna get back here. And you got your AC controls. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, boom. Cup holders. Go super size with the Super Slurpee. Do a little mix of maybe some Coca-Cola, some strawberry, some cherry. Flip that back up. I'm gonna say it again, 6 feet tall, and I'm feeling pretty good here. Do the seat slide. You better bet your bottom dollar. Do they recline? Oh yeah, look at that. I thought I was gonna flip backwards. That's how far back they go. AC vents are single on each side, up high. All 3 rows get them. Well, speaking of 3 rows, let's get to that 3rd row and see how much space there is in this Sequoia. All right, guys, 3rd row time. Where's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides? He's in the 3rd row, and he isn't actually cramped, which is good news. So you can see knees aren't up too high. I got plenty of headroom. We do have AC vents back here. The one major zonk, no connectivity whatsoever, but I got plenty of storage space for all sorts of snacks. And what I also like is I have electric backs on the recline on this 3rd row, and you could actually get pretty comfortable back here for a longer drive, as long as you don't have too much junk in that cargo area. But speaking of the cargo area, let's see what we could fit in the Sequoia TRD Pro. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area. What's interesting is that on this big bad Sequoia, you're gonna have to lift your own lift gate area to get into the cargo. There's no electric assist. So you hit the button, use a little muscle, rises up. Now what you're gonna find is that I left the 3rd row up. I wanna talk about numbers. I wanna show you what kind of space that we have. So there is the 3rd row. Now on the driver's side, you'll notice a series of buttons. That's to electrically lower and raise the 3rd row. Now with that 3rd row up, you are looking at 19 cubic feet of space. You fold down the 3rd row, you fold down the mid row, you're looking at 120 cubic feet of space. You do have a 12 volt right here for when you're going on your camping trip, when you're going to the beach and you need some juice right there. And then another nice little touch is they have a super size snack box back here. Can you imagine tailgating and how many snacks you could put back here? I was thinking it would have been smart of Toyota to make this a cooler area. Fill it with ice, put some drinks in there, but the challenge is that there's no drain plug. So you better get a straw out and suck all the melted water that happens from that melted ice if you're gonna use that as a cooler. Now to get the seats down, I'm going to walk all the way around the back area, and we're gonna use these 2 buttons here, push those, and there they go. It's semi-fast, semi-slow. It's like right in the middle of speed of going down, but as you can see, once they do go down, nice and super flat. This allows us to show off the 3rd row seating area. You got lots of cubbies for snacks. So you got your drinks, Kool-Aid, maybe some Hawaiian Punch. Down there you could put some of those small bags of Cheetos, some Lay's chips, and then you even have a secret compartment. What do you put in there? Something that nobody knows about. That's why they call it a secret compartment. Close it up. Just remember, secrets don't make friends. But you could see the usable space. And there's rear AC vents. You do have 3rd row AC vents in the ceiling up there. Now here's the weird thing. To put the back down, you're just gonna hit this button over here, hold it, and it's gonna electrically come down. So you have manual lift, electric on the downside, but you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this TRD Pro Sequoia for a little spin. All right, guys, we're in this 2021 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. Right away, you're gonna definitely feel captain of this massive ship. You feel like you're in command. You got a great visual reference. I am going to be curious to see what they bring for 2022 with the redesign. So you got to be careful with these redesigns because it may be something way different than what we currently have. Sometimes that's good, sometimes not so good. Now, for those of you who want an integrated infotainment system, you don't want an iPad style, you don't want something tacked on with, you know, some chewing gum and some double-sided tape, you do have some nice use out of that 7-inch display. Now it is small, but it is integrated into the dash. Everything else feels very familiar, as it should, since there has not been a redesign since 2008. Steering wheel has a great thickness to it, and the other thing that I've noticed as I've been driving this vehicle is that you don't feel like you're in some crazy off-road vehicle where everything's bouncy and you feel like you have no control over anything when you're on pavement. You do have great feedback coming to the wheel, and overall I'm very impressed with the ride quality. It's not too soft, not too bouncy. It actually feels really, really well behaved and sorted, as you would expect coming from TRD, Toyota Racing Development. Visibility is so good in here. The side mirrors are like billboards, which maybe not the sexiest look, but they do give you great real estate for seeing what the heck is going on in those blind spots down the side of the vehicle. You're gonna have tons of room for everybody. And even with the dated transmission, that 6-speed automatic, which remember is gonna be just as bulletproof as the engine, that 5.7 liter, you're still able to get some pretty good acceleration out of this over 6,000 pound beast. But why don't we go ahead, go on throttle. 1, 2, 3, on throttle, here we go. Right now I have it in 2-wheel drive, getting that familiar V8 rumble. The 6-speed shifts actually really, really smooth, which is great. Now there is a bit of wind noise because remember we do have that raised roof rail system for the cargo basket and whatnot up on the roof. And we do have the off-road tires wrapped around those beautiful BBS forged wheels. But other than that, feels good, nice and secure, comfortable, smooth. That's another thing, that linear torque delivery that you could only get with a V8. You're not getting that with a twin turbo V6 setup for sure. But as you can see, very compliant. I feel confident, I feel good. It's just, do you want more tech? Do you want a fancy interior? Because if you want those things, you're gonna have to go either with the redesign or a totally different vehicle. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. 6-speed drops down, hood goes for the sky, and we are off and running. And I'm telling you, you know, because they have, you know, evolved this Sequoia, what, you know, other than doing a revolution, this evolution has really been very beneficial to the suspension. You're getting that Fox Racing suspension, whether you're on-road or off-road, is gonna give you nice compression and rebound damping all 4 corners, and having that ability to just twist the dial, go from 2-wheel drive to 4 high and 4 low. It's within reach. Everything is well laid out, and I'm telling you, if you like storage compartments, you have more storage compartments in this than they do in your local storage center location where you live. So more storage than what you could even dream about in any vehicle with 4 wheels. All right, guys, I put us into 4 high, real easy by just twisting the knob. Obviously, I don't have the Moab desert in my backyard, but we could do a little bit of off-roading to kind of showcase the suspension, the chassis work that's been put into this Sequoia TRD Pro. And I'm telling you right now, just real nice with what you're able to do with this vehicle and just go wherever you want. And that's what makes a TRD Pro, is having that ability to go on-road, off-road, wherever you want to be. This thing is going to take you. And what really makes it all come together is the suspension. You could hear a little bit of the metal from the skid plates underneath, taking that beating, protecting the inner bits of this Sequoia TRD Pro. And like I said, this is just scratching the surface. This thing is more capable than anything that I could showcase right here in this little lot where I'm driving around. But I did want to just put it into 4 high for you and kind of just showcase what that suspension travel and whatnot is all about. But really, really controllable. The throttle sensitivity is great. Really just all comes together. And people say, hey, why does a TRD Pro cost as much as it does? This is what you're getting. You're getting those extra touches in there where you just throw this thing around and it takes it. And it just wants more. And that's what I love about the TRD Pro products, especially this Sequoia. I mean, this thing is just a beast. Look at this thing. Yeehaw! Woo! How can you not have a good time in this thing? I'm telling you right now. There's something seriously wrong if you can't have a good time in this TRD Pro. Real easy. I like the steering feedback that I'm getting. Just allows you to put it exactly where you want it to be. And then the V8, that torque The linear power delivery really just makes it so livable, so usable, no matter what you need to do with this thing. Woo! Here we go. I tell you, this is what being an enthusiast is all about. Whether you're an asphalt enthusiast, off-road enthusiast, here we go. Real nice. Look at the control on this thing. All right, guys, it's been another great day here on Raiti's Rides with this Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. Definitely want to thank Zach and the rest of the crew over at Toyota USA for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this vehicle. I don't know, it really depends on what do you want. What do you want out of your SUV? If you want something that's definitely bulletproof, something that definitely is going to be able to go off-road and on-road, have tons of usability, you might want to check out one of these Sequoia TRD Pros before they're gone, because who knows what 2022 is going to bring with the redesign. If you want to keep seeing full-size off-road SUVs on Raiti's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content, 2 ways to do it just for you. Click the first link, become a Raiti's Rides Patreon member. Get that behind-the-scenes stuff you cannot see here on YouTube on Raiti's Rides. Click the second link, get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She had to really work extra hard. We brought in a ladder. We brought in some extra equipment to make sure that she brought you all the details you want. Show Lori some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.